Hey everyone, I'm your host Rae Irelan, and you are listening to the Soul Aligned podcast, where we help high achieving leaders and driven visionaries do what you love and live your purpose. So, welcome to episode 20, where we are diving into transformational leadership, how to grow in 2020. So, what I want to break down today is basically the ABCs to leadership. And these are specifically created in relationship to some of the events that we've experienced in 2020. And most likely, a lot of these events that are going to be continuing, basically, that are creating chaos and transformation that we're seeing on a global scale. So, in terms of leadership and stepping up into your leadership in these times, it is so key to hit these 3 points. So, we'll go ahead and start off. Basically, the ABCs are authenticity, business, and creativity. So, we'll go ahead and kick it off with authenticity to start. People want real, right? Like, people are so done with receiving BS. I mean, the original BS that you know of, but also belief systems that are old and outdated. People are tired of getting sold fake news, right? There's a lot of questioning that's happening of like, who should we be listening to? Who should we be believing? Who can we believe in this time? And so there's a lot of uncertainty that's stirred up, which makes it even more important to be leading from a place of authenticity. And the world is just craving it right now. So when you can really deliver your authenticity, there's going to be a really nice, nurturing response that will happen from your viewers, your clients, people that you're interacting with. So being authentic is really a learned skill, because in our society, we've been taught how to use these tactfully manipulating skills to get ahead, right? Especially when it comes to doing business. There's kind of these little ways that you can deceive someone to close a sale. And these are being taught. These are being passed down and have been passed down, especially in business, but it also affects our relationships and the authenticity that we have in the life that we're creating. And so the thing is that we see people continuing to use these old, outdated skills. We can call them skills because it's basically information that's been passed down and learned upon and practiced. And it is not working anymore, right? People are seeing this. They're able to see the manipulation. Like, we are smarter than that. We can see what's happening beyond the veil, right? And so this is a time where tricks are not the first thing that you should be trying to do. If anything, remove and really show the mask, show what has been happening and show what's underneath. So that way you can start to establish more trust. Trust is one of the most important pieces of leadership in 2020. Basically, because there's so much questioning happening, everyone almost is on even pages. And there needs to be a trust that is built and then continued to be sustained. There needs to always be energy put into creating more trust with everyone that you are in communication with, including your clients, potential clients, viewers, your tribe, your community that you are leading. So those are some key pieces to authenticity. And as we're looking at authenticity, people really need to be seeing results right now. It's not a good time to be like, well, this could happen and this has the possibility of happening, because there's so many uncertainties. People are wanting to understand what they can control and what is certain. So it's a really important time as a leader to be able to show your results that you've been able to achieve and get, both in your own life and in your client's life. And here's where authentic sales really comes in. It's more important than ever that if you can help someone, then do that. Help them stand up in your leadership and take action immediately. Something that I love to say to myself as a reminder is that I have a moral obligation and responsibility to serve, especially as times get more chaotic and crazy in the outside world. So this is something that you can try on for yourself to really understand how you need to be stepping into your truth and showing up more fully to be of more service. This is not a time to hide. This is not a time to hide your greatness either. I know there might be some people that use the chaos of the world as their excuse for why they're not stepping into their leadership. You cannot do that to yourself. You will know if you're doing this by looking at yourself in the mirror and asking that question. And so if you feel like there's been extra fear coming in because of world dynamics, then this really is a time to do a pivot point and switch your mind state and your mentality and go into the responsibility that you hold in sharing how you can help others. So that's all of A, authenticity. When we go into B, we're going to be talking about business. So even if you have a dream, even if you have this amazing vision, it's so clear, you know exactly what you want to do, or you just have this inner knowing, this feeling inside of you that's like, I know I'm going to do something big in the world. I know I'm going to help people. Wherever you're at on that, it is important and essential to learn the basics of business. There are the basics of messaging, marketing, branding, sales, organization, strategy, all of these pieces that you need to understand as a leader, so that way you can more efficiently leverage your time and be able to understand how to make a greater impact. A lot of times what I hear, leaders don't have enough time. Leaders don't have enough resources to do these bigger visions. Well, business is here to support that. So you need to be willing to become the student, and maybe you've learned pieces of business here or there, or you've learned business in school from professors who have been taught business themselves but have never actually ran their own business. It is super important to understand the ins and outs of business as they are currently being run in today's society. So most leaders, entrepreneurs, and coaches that just kind of wing it, which can usually happen, end up losing thousands, sometimes millions of dollars because they're trying these different formulas or strategies instead of using proven methods that have already been done time and time again very successfully. Sometimes they're even losing countless hours or sometimes years. And that can feel really scary. If you think about, oh, well, I'm just going to try this one strategy. It's going to, take me five hours this week. Well, if you add up all those 5 hours every single week, all of a sudden, it might actually shift into years. And that can be really terrifying to think that if you have such a big mission, such a big message to share with the world, and you're missing out on years because you are doing trial and error that someone else could have helped you with. If you understood business a little bit more, you could have jumped ahead. These are some important pieces to just think about as you're really wanting to step into that leader in the transformational space in 2020. And most importantly, out of all of this, you could be losing the ability and the time of serving thousands of clients, hundreds of clients, who knows how many clients who could have really used what you had to offer. And I think that's the one that kind of can get to your heart the most, is to really think of all of those people that are desperately in need of your service, that are not able to receive the support because you were not clear on how to run a business. So that is super important, and I think that can hit home for everyone. It's important for anyone with a dream to have a business, right? This means that you're being of service to others. If you're not helping others, then really, is your dream, is your vision big enough? I don't think so. It most likely will not pull at your heart or soul enough to get you through the hard times. It really won't. So you need to take the time to really open yourself up and really understand your why. Understand why this dream is important, why this vision is important, and make it bigger. Make it bigger than yourself so that way you can get through the hard times. It's sharing your message is hard. Creating a sustainable business and a thriving business is harder. So when the tough comes rolling in, like it does for everyone, is your vision big enough to give you that momentum to keep going? To say, actually, you know what? It's more worth it for me to continue fighting this battle, to see the possibility of this vision, of this message actually getting out there, of me actually being able to serve and help those in need, then you'll keep going when it's tough. And that's really where the most powerful leaders show up. And that's what we'll be seeing happening throughout this year and the years to come. And I've touched on this a few times, but in business, it's super important to have coaches or mentors that can help you along the way. You should have someone who has already been in your shoes and is in the position that you'd like to be in eventually. They'll be able to tell you the most real and true and honest advice and help you navigate your business so that way you can make less mistakes and wrong turns, and ideally less mistakes and wrong turns than they even did, right? So if you're taking and coaching with someone that is successful, you might be able to shorten the amount of time or double the amount of impact than even your mentors are doing. That's kind of what is exciting. So find yourself a mentor or a coach. As a transformational leader in 2020, you need this kind of support to get you through, to get you clarity, to help you navigate what is really hard to do, how to really stand out in the field and in the marketplace. And we'll move into C. So those are all of the business elements. Into C, the ABCs of being a transformational leader. And the leadership in 2020 is creativity, right? It is time to stand out. It is time to figure out how to get above all of the noise and the clatter of leadership that's happening and really show who you are. So you can do that by just being you. You're already unique enough. You just need to share those parts in your leadership. So you can ask the question, what makes me unique to other leaders that are similar to me? You can ask this over and over again, because the more that you're clear on your unique angle, the easier it's going to be for you to identify with clients that are a perfect match for you, for them to be able to identify you as their perfect coach, and you'll be able to make a bigger splash and a bigger, deeper impact in the lives that you're serving. Creativity truly comes when there's enough space. So make sure that you set up your creative time. It's as important as other business things that need to be taken care of. Make sure that you have these segments of time where you can just be creative, where you have this space. So whether you like to sing or dance or paint or write, take the time to do that, because it's going to spark new ideas for how you can be a better leader. And it will give you insight that you wouldn't have otherwise if you are continuing to just run around and kind of check the things off the list. So this is a huge one. See if you can schedule in consistent creative time into your schedule, into maybe just your week. I would love to challenge anyone that's really wanting to truly vamp up their leadership to schedule it in once a day. How can you be in your creative space once a day? And that might mean adjusting other priorities. Some other key points around creativity and some ways that you can understand and learn how to share your creativity is to utilize stories from your own life. And these stories, no matter what life you're living, You have funny moments, you have deep moments, you have powerful, moving moments, you have loving moments, you have blah moments, you have angry, totally crappy moments. All of these are to enhance your ability to live. And so if you can enhance your message with them, it'll just open up a whole new room full of creativity for you to play with your storytelling. Most information gets passed through storytelling, and I think sometimes we forget about that. We try and just hit the nail on the head and, share what needs to be heard, and we put our own stories to the back end. Make sure that your stories are driving you first and foremost. There's been a few times where I've shared extremely vulnerable stories, and that is when I have connected with someone that maybe has an amazing opportunity for me, connected with someone that turns into a client, because we're able to relate to each other in a deeper way, and they can see me as a human, not as a leader. This is super important. We don't need many more leaders. We need humans being good humans to show the way for everyone else to follow, which does end up turning into leaders. But it's not the leader, hey, I know what to do, I'm right, I'm the best, that we might think of. So our stories can kind of humanize us, right? They can humanize us when we're telling them. They can also help us connect with others. And the last piece is to really allow yourself to fail. Can you be okay with falling on your face? Not just once or twice, but like many times. That's what it means to be creative. Nothing great has been created out of uncertainty. I'm sorry, nothing great has been created out of certainty. Uncertainty is what is the essence of creation. So you must be courageous enough to take that leap, to try something new, to fall, and to have the knowingness, the connection to your why, connection to your vision, like we talked about earlier, to get up again, because you know it's worth it. You know that thing that you're going after is so worth getting up and trying again and being okay with failing and falling again. And I don't know about you, but I'm so up for that, to be living my fullest life, fails and successes. Bring it on, right? That's what true leadership is. And if you can show and be authentic and share the times you fall, that's also how you can really help others in that true, real way. Not just to say, oh, these are all the things I did right and all the ways that I'm amazing. That's not really going to help too many people. So those are the ABCs to leadership in 2020. And I hope all of the transformational leaders are out there. It's your time. Step up. Leadership means leading your life first. From there, when you can become your own leader, authentically, inside and out, others will follow. And that's truly what leadership we need in today's age, and will continue to need, and we'll also continue to see more and more of. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. And if you want to check out more videos, then go ahead and just tap the screen right there. I'll see y'all next time.